The town of Oakhaven was nestled deep in a valley, a place where the mountains embraced the sky and the mist often kissed the earth. It was a small, quiet community, just over 300 souls, content in their isolation. They knew their fogs, you see. Thick, damp blankets that rolled in from the surrounding peaks, sometimes lingering for a morning, sometimes for a full day. The residents had a rhythm to it, headlights on, slow driving, the smell of wet pine and damp earth. It was part of Oakhaven's charm, a predictable veil that occasionally muted the world. Old Silas, who ran the general store and had seen 82 winters, swore he could smell a proper fog coming hours before it arrived. On the morning of October 17th, he was at the counter, wiping down the polished wood, when the first tendrils began to creep down the valley. It was a familiar sight, but even then, Silas felt a prickle of unease. This fog, it was different. It didn't drift. It descended. A heavy, silent curtain that seemed to absorb all sound as it drew closer. By noon, Main Street was gone, swallowed whole. The streetlights, usually a hazy glow in the mist, were completely obscured. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was the thickest fog anyone in Oakhaven had ever witnessed, a suffocating shroud that pressed in from every direction. Hours passed, then a full day. The fog didn't lift. It didn't thin. It only seemed to grow denser, more opaque. People tried to drive out, but the disorientation was immediate and profound. Engines stalled, compasses spun wildly, and the familiar road signs vanished into the white abyss. Calls to nearby towns, to family members outside the valley, became increasingly difficult, then impossible. The phone lines went dead. Radio signals faded into static. Oakhaven, a town accustomed to its quiet isolation, was now truly cut off. A profound, unsettling silence fell over the entire valley, broken only by the muffled sounds of the fog itself, a soft, persistent whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Outside Oakhaven, concern grew. Relatives unable to reach their loved ones began to call the county sheriff's department. Deputy Miller, a man known for his calm demeanor, was dispatched to investigate. He drove his patrol cruiser along the winding mountain road, expecting to find a particularly dense fog bank. What he found instead was a wall, a solid, impenetrable white mass that stretched across the valley entrance, rising hundreds of feet into the air. It wasn't merely fog, it was a physical barrier, humming with an almost imperceptible energy. His radio crackled with static when he neared it, then died completely. He tried to walk into it, but after a few steps, a wave of vertigo and nausea forced him back. He described it later as feeling like he was walking into a dream, a place where gravity wavered and logic ceased to exist. He could hear nothing from within, no car horns, no distant shouts, no sounds of life, just the oppressive, all-consuming silence. Days turned into weeks. The unlifting fog remained, a perfect, unbroken oval on satellite imagery, refusing to dissipate. Emergency services, state police, even National Guard units attempted to penetrate the anomaly. Specialized thermal imaging drones flew in, only to lose signal and plummet into the white void. Search and rescue teams equipped with GPS and specialized sound equipment reported the same disorienting effects, the same overwhelming sense of wrongness. After 3 weeks, a small section of the fog, on the far western edge of the valley, finally receded a few hundred yards. What they found was not a scene of disaster, but an unnerving tableau of sudden collective departure. Houses stood open, doors ajar. Plates of half-eaten food sat on kitchen tables. Children's toys lay scattered in yards. A general store's cash register was open, full of bills and change. Vehicles were parked neatly in driveways, keys still in the ignition. There were no signs of struggle, no overturned furniture, No evidence of a natural disaster, just an inexplicable, utter absence. Not a single person, not a single animal was found. The investigation stalled, then eventually faded into the annals of unexplained phenomena. Theories abounded, each more desperate than the last. Was it a unique atmospheric condition, a form of super-dense cloud that somehow absorbed organic matter? A mass hallucination, a collective delusion that led everyone to walk willingly into the unknown? Some whispered of a secret government experiment gone terribly wrong, a test of some advanced weapon or cloaking device. Others, with a shiver, spoke of ancient forces, of a valley that simply decided to reclaim its own, to erase itself from the map. But every theory crumbled under the weight of the facts. No bodies, no trace, no logical explanation for the complete disappearance of an entire community. The only tangible evidence left behind was the town itself, a ghost town perfectly preserved yet utterly empty, like a stage set after the play has ended, the actors having vanished into thin air. Today, the town of Oakhaven remains, not as a place where people live, but as a monument to a question that has no answer. The fog still clings to it, a permanent shifting shroud that never fully lifts, never truly dissipates. It breathes over the valley, expanding and contracting slightly, a living entity guarding its secret. The road signs for Oakhaven are gone, removed by the state, but anyone who ventures close enough to the valley entrance can still feel it. A chilling silence, an unnatural calm. The air itself seems heavier there, pregnant with unspoken mysteries. And sometimes, when the wind is just right, travelers on the distant mountain passes swear they can hear it. A faint, almost imperceptible whisper carried on the wind, a sound that doesn't quite belong to this world. A whisper from the white, unlifting shroud, a reminder of the town that vanished, leaving only a chilling, impenetrable silence behind. What truly happened in Oakhaven remains one of the darkest, most enduring mysteries of our time.